We are back. We are in Driggs, Idaho, United States. We just purchased a brand new plane. So we're going to have some fun now. Okay, got a short little flight I picked out. Gonna fly right over the Rocky Mountain, the Teton Pass, into Jackson Hole, Wyoming. Gonna show us, we're gonna stack these two, so we're gonna do two at the same time. We got two passengers, their total weight's 352, and we got a package that weighs 211 pounds. So now that we got a bigger plane, we can do bigger things. So let's go ahead. Before I do that, let's go ahead and load the plane and see how bad it's actually going to be. There's our new plane. We're going to do a blue. Okay, so I have it figured out with the two passengers and the pilot. We have, wow, horrible English. We have 174 per seat, so 174 for the pilot, and you just gotta average these out. I mean, that's not cool in the real world. So in the left passenger seat, we have another body. Okay. We're well within our, let's just max that out to 100%. That way, I'm sure the fuel tanks will be full. But now our package, 211 pounds, is rounded up to 106. So we'll put 106 in this side. See, we're already overweight. And we'll do 106 in the baggage. Okay, everything looks good. We are 185 pounds overweight with full fuel tanks. So we can take off a little fuel, 185 pounds of fuel. So it's doable. I'm comfortable with it. So let's go ahead and load this up. We're in KDIJ, Driggs, Idaho. And we're not even gonna attempt. See, none of this was here when we landed, so we're just gonna parking 2-3 ramp there. We're not even gonna attempt real live flight conditions because the last two flights, it is the same day, so the weather's gonna be the same. So we are just gonna have to not even attempt it because it'll be an epic failure. Okay, there's Jackson Hole, Wyoming, just short up over the mountain. It says a big 10-minute. Okay, we're not going to worry about the weather because we're going to go over here. We'll just do that when we get in the plane. Let's go ahead and load it. The sun is actually coming out right now where I am, but I don't know. We'll load it and see what it looks like, but I know we got to go up over a mountain. Icing conditions were horrible. But if we did the Aberdeen flight right now, we'd be able to do it. Let's see what it gives us real weather. Visibility 7.3. Ooh, there's our new plane. Love it. Well, I'm an old grumpy old guy in there, aren't I? Should we give it a try? Why not? Let's give it a shot. We can always do what we did. Okay, there's our new plane. We've got nice instrumentation now. This is a very nice plane, very powerful. We even have oxygen. I believe our ceiling in this is 20,000 feet with oxygen, of course. It is turbocharged, so we pretty much have good power at any altitude. Here's our turbocharged fuel flow. So yeah, this will be fun. We now have mixture, we have prop, throttle. So this is basically, we're getting into more high performance. We do have glass cockpit, so we're going to have instruments. Navigation's going to be totally different now. We're going to have maps. It's going to be, this just ups the game so much more. Okay, while we're sitting here, let's go ahead, jump into NeoFly. Okay, here's the two that I chose. We're going to stack these missions. So let's do both of these. Stack it. So that means we're going to do two. Okay, we've already bought the one plane, so it's no longer on the list. Sometimes they'll throw our little 152, but it's not here, so, but it's gone bye-bye. Okay, so let's go to the hangar. It's showing us full, so we only had to do 180, 85 pounds. So if we do it right as we sit, we're good. Half the tanks. So let's go ahead and start insurance on this plane. So now we're insured. We're going to do half a tank. We changed the tail number to Skeeter. That is our go-to. Okay. Finance is the same. We bought this for $331,000. Sold our little Cessna for $125,000. We do have this much in the bank, but now we have a loan. And we can pay anytime we want. Let's go ahead and we don't need that much. So let's go ahead and put $200,000 on our loan. We'll pay that. Okay. Now our balance is $260,000. We still have a payment due the 23rd. But if we fly a lot, we can pretty much have that paid off. Okay, we've done our hangar. Everything's good there. Staff. We're going to be ranked up after this flight if I don't crash and kill us. We're flying that. We've already done. So here's our stacked missions down here. Now we just choose one of those to fly and the other will automatically follow with us. So let's go ahead and do the passenger. So we're going to fly this. So it only lists we have 2 passengers, but there is our weight combined. So both of these are going to be on the same mission, hence the stacked. Okay, Driggs to Jackson, 2 passengers with a total of 563 pounds, not including the pilot, of course, but we've added that in our weights. We are setting, we are now, if we have multiple planes, you got to drop this. Of course, we only got one plane to choose from, and that is our new Cessna CT-182T. Haven't flown this for a while, so it's going to be fun. Okay, everything looks good. Let's connect the flight. Why doesn't... Oh, it's probably because I chose a different livery. You can hear my brakes. Let me think what I want to do here. To change the current NeoFly name plane from to... Yeah, because I want the blue one. I want the blue one, so let's do that. Okay. Now we've changed our aircrafts, everything, so we should be able to use this aircraft. I didn't do that. Did Neo... Where'd NeoFly go? It just crashed. Okay. We'll bring it back up. You little bugger. Okay, we want to start. Skeeter. Maybe you didn't like us doing that. I might have to change my plane to the original livery. We'll see. Everything should still be there. Yeah, everything. Let's see what it does. That very seldom crashes. Okay, it's loaded back up. Let's connect our flight.
Transporter from dispatch. The passenger for the concert are waiting at the boarding parking. Transporter form dispatch. Boarding passenger, please stand by.
Okay, we got 2 passengers going to a concert apparently. Okay, of course, rounded up, so we have 1 pound more than we should have. So we are connecting, we are loading. Let's drop that. I just gotta double check. Yep, okay. Didn't want to do all this and wasn't recording.
Transporter, boarding is complete. You can start your flight.
Alright, we can start our flight. This is a really nose-high plane. I don't know for sure, but alright. Let's see what we can do here. Turn on this. First we want to double check our fuel. So yes, we are pulling off of both tanks. And it showed us half a tank, I'm sure. Okay, we're doing a TOS test. If you look right here, it's doing its testing, bringing everything up nice and easy. We'll let it do its thing. Be patient. And see, now we're getting, it already tells us we're 17 miles away. We got some fancy toys on there. Okay, our testing is up. So let's go ahead and turn our fuel pump on. Beacon and nav lights. Got to bring our mixture to full rich. Bring our pop to full. There's our display coming up. It shows our mountain ridges. These are nice. I like glass cockpits. Okay, let's yell out the window clear. The sound's kind of funky in this, but it's supposed to be a real recording of the actual plane. Okay, go ahead and turn on our avionics, and we'll go ahead and turn all our other lights on. Pitot heat's on. Bring up our map, set our altimeter, 29 or 89, standby battery. Maybe it's just because I gotta throttle up and see if that goes away. Yep, it's just that the alternator's low. Okay, you notice once I switch this, all our engine is over here. See, there's our fuel quantity. We're quite low. Okay, that's gonna come on at an idle. I could put more fuel on, but it's only 17 miles. I'm usually one to, I like full fuel tanks. So let's shut off the fuel. Let's just do this real quick, like it's real simple. Because it says it. Come on, stop, buddy. Okay, let's go to NeoFly. Let's throw some fuel on here real quick, like. In case our weather is horrible, we got options. No fuel, no options. Okay. That's funny, our prop's still going. Let's go ahead. Okay. Our lights are on, everything's on. Okay, we're right back. Now it shows us our fuel gauge is back up. There's our TIT temps. That's what we'll do, our adjusting our mixtures and that to get them at cruise. Oil temp's coming up, oil pressure's low, but we're at an idle. So this is a new monitor, so we can scroll way in, and that shows us our airport. We can actually use our taxiing, and as I span out, that shows us, so that's good to use during taxi. Then it gives us our magenta line on our course to, now we can be totally stupid and I can just, there's Jackson, so we just fly to Jackson. And you're gonna notice this screen as I take off, it's gonna be red, which is 500 feet above ground. Then it's gonna turn yellow, then it's gonna turn green, then it turns black, so that you could be flying along, and if you see black, you know you've got 2,000 feet of separation between you and the ground. If you see green, you have 1,000 feet. Yellow, no, green starts at 2,000. Yellow starts at, let's just bring the legend up. It tells us. We got weather, so we can bring the weather up and fly around weather. Didn't bring my legend up. But it's 2,000 for black above 2,000, 1,000 to 2,000 feet's green, 500 feet to 1,000 feet yellow, and 500 feet or lower is red. Again, red you're dead, so you don't want nothing. Nothing red is good in aviation, so we'll just keep that in mind. Okay. Hey, we can even play with our autopilot a little bit. So here's our autopilot, here's our heading bugs, here's our altimeter or altitude. So as you can see, this number right here, not quite sure, I could look at my sectional on how high. This is actually should be an IFR flight if we fly in the clouds. We'll just play it. Okay, we're going to turn on our transponder to 1200. We're going to try VFR. Okay, there's our flag. Here's our runway. So we have a little cross. So I think we'll just go ahead and take off runway 22. And if we scroll down here, we can pretty much see. Okay, we have a taxiway, so we can just turn left right here, taxi down, take off runway 22. That'll be our plan. And I think I'll shut my weather off because we know we're going to be in weather. We can look right outside. Okay, everything looks good. We got our lights on, pitot heat. Everything is good here. Okay, we'll take the brake off. Brakes off. Alright, let's get in here. Gotta make sure she's off. I gotta change that default setting. Automated weather.
Kilo Delta India Juliet automated weather
Winds
observation
309 at 15.
Wind 309.15. Visibility 10. Sky condition 2,400 feet scattered, ceiling 4,600 feet overcast. Temperature minus Tracy dew point 10 C, altimeter 2989er.
Okay, we're below the dew point since we
Kilo
got the
Delta
clouds.
India Juliet automated weather observation.
Okay, let's quiet him up. Okay, we definitely want runway 25 or 22, sorry. Okay, let's announce taxi.
Kilo Delta India Juliet, traffic Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is taxiing to runway 22.
Okay. We are talking to our peeps. Let's... this is going to be fun to be in a bigger plane. The sound's a little different. Maybe that... I never flown a turbo plane in real life. Maybe this is how it sounds. Okay, there's our taxiway. There's a little window of blue sky right there, so maybe we can just pick our way. We won't hit our nav button to... We can be real lazy in planes like this. You just set your autopilot, push the buttons, and just basically monitor. But today we can fly autopilot, but we can do a bug because we gotta pick and choose how we get through the sky, through the clouds anyway, because I'm sure that's icing. I don't see any icing starting right now, so that's good. I see we got prop heat. Turn the prop heat on. That'll prevent our prop. It's pretty much all we got is a pitot heat and prop heat. We don't have any icing for our wings or any of our bigger planes we get into. We'll be able to take care of icing on our wings. Still, icing's not good. It can really bite you fast. But if you got a big powerful like a jet, you fly right through that. You accumulate some icing, get above the cloud layer, sublimation takes it off. You don't worry about it. Little planes, you better be paying attention. We're still a little plane, but we are a lot bigger than we were. When I take off full power in this one, I'm really going to be on my right rudder because it's going to... I'd have to look it up and see, but I'm sure we're probably double. Cessna 152, we're probably around the 100 horse, and I'm sure this is in the mid 200s, so more than double the horsepower what we had on the other plane. But now things happen a lot faster, so I won't be quite as bored as I was in the 152. Things happen so slow that I'd get so far ahead of myself that by the time I was ready, it'd take me... Okay, there's another windsock. Shows us we're going to have a crosswind, which it wasn't that. Nothing that we can't handle, so we won't worry about it. Okay, now we have an outside temperature in our left panel that says -3 Celsius, so monitor our weather. We also got wind data right here, but it's not identifying. But once we get up in the air, we're going to know exactly what the wind is. We got ground speed, so we're doing 16 knots ground. You want to stay below 20 on that. So you can cross-reference. We're doing 16 knots, but the plane is actually picking up true airspeed at 17 knots. So we're actually catching wind off of this sock. Normally we're going, this wants to be lower than this because we should be going with the wind. This shows us going, but it's a true side wind, so it'll be fine. But I've made decisions and taxied and found out the wind was actually coming towards me, and I've changed my mind and went to the other. It's that cross-referencing all of your... Ooh, this is touchy. Okay, there we are. Get on our radio again and let everybody know we are going to be departing to the east.
Kilo Delta India Juliet, traffic Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo taking off runway 22 east departure.
Okay, 1 notch of flap. I don't know really what the, never flown this, so I don't know what the, and usually in a Cessna our fuel tanks are above us, so if our fuel tanks were in our lower wing, I would have the fuel pump on takeoff. I'm not going to have it on. All our lights are on. Go ahead and let's see what we can do about a mixture. I don't know. Okay, I think our mixture's good there. Okay, 1 notch of flaps, mixture, lights on. Let's take off. There's going to be one more thing I do once I turn runway heading. And you'll notice some planes, airlines, they will roll out on the runway and stop, or some will just continue rolling and just start their takeoff. It depends on. Sometimes you like to pull out here on the runway, make sure, double check everything's correct. One last check. So there's our crosswind. True airspeed, we're not indicating anything. Okay. So one last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this header button. That brings my bug right there. So that's my autopilot. So once I take off, I can hit the autopilot, push my heading button, and the plane will fly that heading. And then I don't have to fly the plane. So that's just a, usually you hand fly for quite a while and then you let the autopilot take over from there. But there's our 4 red lights. 4 red, you're dead, because we're below the glide slope, of course. Okay, I think we're good. Now watch this screen right here. It's going to go red, yellow. I don't know how high we're going to get today, but that'll change. So when you see red right when we rotate, that's why that turns red. Nothing to be, it's normal. It's okay. I still got my brakes set. We're going to bring everything up. I'm looking at my engine. Oil pressure's good. Fuel flow's coming up. Release the brakes. Slowly add power. Something's not right. I'm using right rudder or left rudder for some reason. Maybe it's the snow grabbing me. I'll do a little slower.
Transporter, good flight.
Can we bring that back into the green? I don't like the way it's flying for some reason. It's a lot louder. Okay, we're gonna bring our flaps up. Gonna trim my plane back. We're just gonna fly. Whoa, 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 whoa. Down, down, down. See, red, yellow, green. Okay, I'm learning this plane. It feels, I'm thinking we got more weight on the one side than the other side, so it feels good though. I'm getting it trimmed to where we should be. Now it's turning green, and as I climb out I can make this bigger so you can see our green little valley. The mountains we gotta climb over are still red. So I'm still flying the plane. Clouds are going to be a problem. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do autopilot heading. Yeah, it's just gonna. I got our altitude set at 10,000 feet. I don't know if we want to go. We're climbing at 900 feet. So now to turn the plane, I just switch to my heading indicator, turn my bug, and the plane goes. But I am going to change. We're climbing too fast, so let's slow our rate down. So I'll set it at 400 feet a minute. And you can see the number right here. There's our vertical speed. I want to climb at 400 feet. If this was a different, I could plug it in for speed, so your plane would never stall. But this one doesn't have it. It's okay. Now we're well above our valley's now black. We still have red, so we can't get over the mountains yet. If it wasn't for the clouds, if we can find a patch of blue sky, we can just fly right up through it. But then we got to make sure we can get back down, because we're not IFR. We could file an IFR. I'm just looking at the top of the mountains. There's the Tetons. Jackson Hole's right in front of us. So see, it looks like it gets worse the farther north we fly. And we're still red, so we can't get over the mountains. So there's our airport. Let's just do another 360. I'd kind of like to just pick us a little slot to fly through the canyon to get over the mountain, because once we get over the mountain we can drop. We just got to stay under our cloud level, which 10,000 feet's pushing it. I think 10,000 feet's going to put us right into the clouds. And it would have been simple just to do an IFR, but I'm sure icing's a problem. So if we can sneak through here. Okay, we almost got a little slot we can sneak through. For what our display tells us, we could sneak right through where it's yellow. But it looks like our clouds are there. Let's try it right there. Okay. Gonna do us a little. Just pick a little valley right here, and we'll just sneak through there. I can come back a little bit on my manifold pressure, and I'll come down on my prop. We'll do close to 2,300 RPM, because now I can adjust. Ooh, I don't want to talk so loud. I can adjust my prop RPM with my blue knob here. It's a constant speed prop, so before I didn't have any control. RPM was engine RPM. Now I have my throttle does my manifold pressures, so as I come back on my throttle, my manifold pressure, but my RPM pretty much stays the same. And then I can come back with my throttle, and then I get my blue knob and I control my RPM. Bring it back, you go slower. So basically the more RPM, the full forward on your prop is like a low gear. That's what you take off and land with. And then once you get up cruising, you bring back your RPM for fuel efficiency. So right now we're just kind of cruising, 124 climbing, 125. We're probably close, so let's go ahead and notify. Oh, let's.
Tower Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo is 16 miles west 10,000 feet.
I don't have golf.
Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo Tower. Altimeter 29.89er, wind 289er at 15. Fly left base, runway 1.
Okay, we're gonna fly left base, runway 1. We're gonna acknowledge.
Make left base runway 1 Tango Echo Romeo.
We'll set our altimeter to that number that she gave us, which we're good. Okay. Now, I'm just going to turn my heading bug since we're on autopilot. It's going to maintain the 10,000 feet. We're basically going to shoot this gap right here. So she said a left base, right? Yeah, left base, which means we're not going to do a downwind, we're going to do a left base, which is pretty much what we are. We're basically going to fly straight in. And I have not brought up airport yet. I got another computer that I have my sectionals on and everything, so I'm bringing up the airport. Elevation 6450. Our runways are 01 and 19. We've already been cleared for runway 01, which is a magnetic heading of 20 degrees true. So we're off a little bit. So we're 20 degrees true will give us runway 10. Okay. Our runway 63 feet, 100 long, 150 feet wide. So we have absolutely no problem in this plane to land. Okay. Things are looking good. Now we just got to pay attention to our downdrafts. Oh, now that we're up in the air, see we had winds at 9 knots at 346 degrees. So basically that our wind is hitting the plane at this direction. So we got a little tailwind, which the wind's going to go up and over these mountains, so we'll have a downdrift on the other side. Just watch this. The computer's doing a great job of. See, we're already rising because the wind comes over the top of the mountains, and then it's going to want to suck us down. Now it starts down, so the plane will just automatically adjust for that. Okay, I'm going to turn a heading towards the airport. See, now we can cheat. We got a full picture right here. Here's our plane. The airport's off to my left. I don't even see it. Of course, and this is real. There's our mountain ridges. If we're IFR, there's a great reference. I'm going to hit the mountain in front of us, and it tells us we're going to hit the mountain in front of us because it's red. So if I was an IFR, so it's kind of cheating, but it's not. It's real life. But you definitely want to know how to fly if all the equipment went blank. We want to make sure we can still fly our plane. Okay, now that we're here, we're going to want to drop our altitude. Let's do... See, in 152 I'd have all the time in the world, but now in this, So we're going to want 7,400 feet. Okay, so I've done that. So now I am going to switch my descent to, we'll do 500 feet a minute. Okay, now that I am got her pointing downhill, I'm gonna bring back my throttle so I don't gain airspeed. And for fun, I could have checked and we could have flown a procedure in here, but there's the airport right there. Okay, I'm gonna slow down, gonna max my prop out, gonna watch for red line because that's maxed out sometimes, because we are gonna configure to land. Okay, we're coming in. We've been cleared for runway 1, which is right in front of us. Now you look at our wind, we have a 9-knot headwind, and that'll slow our ground. So we got 3 different speeds. Our pitot is indicating 102 knots of wind. The computer is telling us that's calculated out at 115 true airspeed, and we're doing 110 ground, so we're actually going with the wind pointed in front of us. We can actually fly slower, but the plane thinks it has that wind. The plane thinks we're in 109 knots of wind right now, and we're doing 105 ground, which gives us more time. Okay, about this time, I don't need the...
Tango Echo Romeo with calm cleared to land runway 1.
Okay, cleared runway 1, Echo Tango.
Cleared to land runway 1 Tango Echo Romeo.
Okay, so now we're gonna do it just like our other plane, Gumps. Throw a little gas in there, we're gonna bring it back. We want to get in our white arc, which isn't an arc anymore. Well, it's a white arc here, but it's a white line here. So I just need to bleed off some speed. And that's just simply bringing the nose up. There it is, 1 notch of flap. Bring the nose down. Been clear to land one way. We'll go ahead and do another notch. Now I'm going to have to add some throttle, because we're not going to be landing at 55 knots anymore. We're probably going to be landing at 65, so things start moving faster. Some planes you'll be landing at 120. You'll be landing faster than this plane wide open. That's why you start off with slower equipment. So what I'm looking for now is just getting my plane trimmed. I'm at 73 knots, 2 notches of flap. If I add a little power, my nose will come up. So now I'm gonna kind of leave my trim alone for now. I'm just watching the runway. If it drops in my windshield, that means I'm too low, which right now it's raising, so I'm too low. That's probably backwards there. So I'm just going to add a little throttle that actually adds power, more lift, and raises the nose of the plane. So I'm not going back and forth on my yoke. I'm just basically adjusting my descent rate with my throttle. And it's not instant, so I'll add throttle, and there's a few seconds, and you'll see the nose come up. And you'll see my right screen's all red now. That's what that means, within 500 feet. Still wants to dip down, so we got 72, which is a little fast. But I'm also going to pull back my power now. I don't know why we got pine trees right at the end of the runway. So I'll drop my power, that drops the nose. I'll trim my plane up, bring my nose up. We got snow, so we really can't see the bugs, but the end of the runway. Just trimming up. You can see the chevrons, so that's not the runway. We can't land on that. We gotta go where the white lights are completely across. Okay, there's the end of the runway. So that's why you shoot for that. Okay, I gotta bring it back. I'm pulling back now.
Transporter from dispatch. Nice landing. Go to the next parking and put your parking brake on. I'll be in touch.
Tango Echo Romeo, turn next taxiway.
Okay, we're down one piece. I don't think I might have to back taxi. Let's bring our airport up. Oh no, there's another taxiway. See, these screens are fantastic. I would have my sectional out and I'd know the airport. I've got it right here too, so I can see there's one at each end and two in the center, so we're not going to be able to see our little yellow line because there's snow on the runway.
Tango Echo Romeo, turn next taxiway.
Copy, copy. Okay, lights are on, my flaps are up. Here's our taxi to the right.
Tango Echo Romeo, contact ground on 124.55.
Okay, 124.55.
124.55 for Tango Echo Romeo.
Now switch my radios, contact ground to parking.
Jackson Ground, Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, request taxi to parking.
Sierra Kilo Echo Echo Tango Echo Romeo, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Alpha.
Okay.
Taxiing to general
We'd have
aviation
probably
parking
stopped.
via taxiway Alpha Tango Echo Romeo.
Would have probably stopped back there before, but we knew we were going to come back this way, so I wouldn't want to just get off the runway, get permission. And if it meant stop, but I just kept the roll going. Now if there was aircraft running around, you could see other aircraft taxiing, I would not have done that. I'd have stopped and got my instruction first, because they don't know what I'm going to do. They don't know where I'm going to park at. I don't see our little dudes out here to park us, so we could just pretty much park wherever we want, unless they're way down there. You see guys just standing by themselves, they're not going to park you, they're just standing there for some reason. But they might be down here by the fuel island. Alright, we're gonna start this thing books. Hi Bubba. We'll go around you. We'll just come up to this building here. This looks like a good place to drop passengers off. Alright. We are stopped. Parking brake set.
Transporter. Disembarking of passengers can begin.
Oh, our prop stopped that time. Last time it kept on trucking. Okay, bring everything back. Let's take a look outside while we're unloading. Oh yeah, look at that. Little blue and gold. 3-bladed prop. There's my landing, and if I shut this off, it may end. There's my landing light.
Transporter,
On
all the
off.
passengers have disembarked. Good job. See you soon.
It's a great picture. There's the Grand Tetons. Oh, that's a good sound. Been promoted, people. I'm no longer a cadet. So here's Jackson Hole, Wyoming. The Grand Tetons. We are now on the other side of the Continental Divide. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of Microsoft Flight Sim. Okay, 16-minute flight. I didn't take off. Pretty tricky, but I did land, so I don't understand why something so simple can be so hard. So I'm up to 718 hours. So get out of there. Let's see what NeoFlight has to tell us. I love NeoFlight. There's quite a few different programs to do this. It gives you a purpose in flying instead of just flying around. Okay, let's go to staff. We are now a second officer. What that means, no clue. I can go in here right now and we can grab any plane we want, which reminds us. Okay, there's a PA-28. There's a Cessna Skyhawk. Okay, we're not going to downsize. My next, now that we're in this plane, this is a pretty good top. You can get into the, like the DA-40, the M20R. I'm not a fan of those low wing. I'm a Cessna guy. I learned to fly Cessnas. I'll do some Pipers, but I mean this is a single engine but low wing. So it's all preference. Are you a Chevy, Dodge, Ford guy? Are you a Cessna, Piper, or a DA? So this just kind of, but I do switch over to my twins. If we get into a twin engine prop, I really like the Beach Bonanza 58G. So if I ever do see one of those in our list, we might just jump on it. The two twin engine props we look for is the DA62, but that's fully automated. It burns jet fuel, and computerized. You don't do nothing. You just throw your throttles full. The computer takes care of everything. The Beach GA58. Wow, I'm getting confused on what my planes are now. You got to do everything. You got to do mixtures. You got props, and it's a great plane. So if we do see that Beechcraft, I'll probably end up buying it. It's in the what is it? 600,000, 650, $600,000 to $700,000, and then your DA62 is I think 800,000. It's $1 million plane in real life, but we may buy it too and fly them. Because once we start getting into the cooler planes, I will probably keep the plane, and we can jump around and fly different planes. The Cessna 152 is just kind of boring. Maybe in the summertime it would be fun to buy another one, but they're so cheap we can just buy it and we can do short field landings up in the mountains on grass strips and stuff like that and do real bush pilot stuff. We're not going to be doing that at this time of year, so we'll sell it, but we can always buy another one. Maybe buy a Cub. Yeah, see, there's a Cub for $300,000. So, but that's that. Don't look like we're going to buy another aircraft. There's an Explorer. If you see these, you got a day to fly there and find that. I don't know. I've never done that, so I don't know what happens if you actually find it. But we can fly all around the world. Been there, done that. So, okay. We're in Jackson Hole, Wyoming now in our new Cessna that we're going to keep. So we got to find another flight out of here. I don't know whether if we want to start heading south, because we don't have to go back to our home base, because we started off here in Aberdeen, about right here, flew up to Idaho Falls, over to Driggs, and now we're in Wyoming. So we've flown that much in the United States. So while it's still winter, maybe we can fly down to Mexico, Florida, maybe the Bahamas while it's winter. And then as it gets better in weather this summer, we can head on up into Canada, maybe do some Alaska, zip over into Russia, and just kind of bounce around. So we could do Anchorage. It's just hard this time of year with the small aircraft. We kind of might want to think about heading south, and looks like we have a lot of options. And we can switch this and do longer trips. We can go up to Montana, we can go down to here, and it's real easy. If I click right here once, come down here, and it tells you, okay, that's Rifle, Garfield County Airport, the runway length, the altitude, has lights, it's hard surfaced. So we can come up here to 79S, Fort Benton. It's a hard service. The altitude of the airport's 2,800 feet. Length. So you can kind of pick this way. KLND is Hunt Field, 5,000 feet. So we could fly anywhere there. But they're 254 miles. So we were doing 30, 40, 50 minutes. So to do 254, we're going to have flying time to fly up here. Weather, it beat us to death. We couldn't do it if we were flying south, but we're going to be in the air for a couple hours. So we're already, I don't know, I like longer flights. And then once we get into the jets, see, we can fly to Los Angeles if we want to. The Navajo, 3 hard services, 12,000 feet. Now once we get in the jets, we can jump in a Longitude Cessna and in a couple hours be in Texas. But a Cessna, it'll take us all day to fly to Florida. So we might want to stick with just short little hops until we get into a TBM. We're definitely going to get into the TBM 930. That's the fastest prop plane, I believe, in production. In this anyway. And then we'll definitely get into the Longitude jet, private jet. But we need to make millions to do that. We're only 76,000. So, all right, that should do it for now. We're in Jackson Hole. We'll do this again. Have a great day. Bye.